Hi, awesome artists. I'm unable to be in the art room today, so you will have a sub. In art today, we will be discussing a new artist by the name of Pablo Picasso. I'll say it, you say it. Pablo? Picasso. Great job. Let's watch a portion of this video so we can learn a few more cool facts about Pablo Picasso. Remember, you're taking notes. So make sure to write your name at the top, the artist's name under question 1, the style of the art in question 2, and one cool fact that you have learned from this presentation, either from the video or some of the other facts that we'll discuss later. All right, let's get started.
Pablo Picasso, The Rooster, 1938. The rooster was painted on paper with pastel. In the rooster, you can see many bright, vibrant colors, lines, textures, and patterns. The rooster is an abstract painting. Pablo Picasso is known for making much abstract art. He was a Spanish painter, sculptor, printmaker, ceramicist, and poet who spent most of his adult life living in France. He's regarded as one of the most influential artists of the 20th century. He is also known for co-founding the Cubist movement, the invention of constructed sculpture, and the co-invention of collage. Pablo Picasso is also well known for his many abstract portraits, which also use Cubist-styled art. Picasso's work is often categorized into periods: the Blue Period, the Rose Period, and the Cubist period. Much of Picasso's work of the late 1910s and early 1920s is in a neoclassical style. His later works combine elements of his earlier styles. Picasso is one of the most well-known artists and figures in the 20th century.
As mentioned in the video, we're studying the artist by the name of Pablo Picasso. Please make sure his name is on your notes. Here's some more cool facts. Remember, Picasso was born in 1881 in the country of Spain. He was the son of an art teacher. By the time Picasso was 12, he had already mastered a ton of drawing skills that are taught in art classes today. Picasso's art was always reflective or showing how he felt in his personal life. In 1902, Picasso created a style called Blue Period. Later in 1904, Picasso began to create a style using warmer colors called Rose Period. In 1907, Picasso developed a style that is widely and most known as Cubism, which is an abstract form of art. Basically, it's like taking an item, breaking it up into pieces, and putting it back together again, but kind of goofy or silly looking. Abstract art and Cubism is taking a realistic idea but making it look mixed up. Cubism is the style of art we're studying today. Picasso died in 1973. He was 91. Remember how I mentioned that Picasso painted how he felt? Check out Blue Period. This painting is titled The Old Guitarist. He made it in 1904. How do you think Picasso was feeling during his Blue Period? Go ahead and raise your hand if you have a guess. If you said sad, lonely, depressed, great job. Look at the old guitarist. His clothes are tattered, his head's hanging down, he might be playing a sad song, and of course the color is blue. Blue represents sadness for a lot of people. Not everyone, but it did for Picasso. out Rose period. How has Picasso's mood changed? How's he feeling during Rose period? Take a look at Acrobat and Young Harlequin, painted in 1905. Feel free to raise your hand if you want to take a guess. If you said cheerful, more uplifted, feeling great, good job. Notice the colors are brighter, warmer, they're more inviting. The subject is of something fun. An acrobat and a harlequin would be found at a circus. So Picasso was definitely feeling more upbeat during his Rose period. Let's take a minute to compare realism and cubism. Take a look at apple number 1. That's realism. It's a perfect, identical photographic copy of an apple. We look at it and we know exactly what it is. Take a look at apple number 2. That's cubism. It's still an apple, but it's been broken up into different segments, different parts or shapes put back together in kind of a mixed up or wonky, whacking looking way. It's still red. It still has the round shape of an apple, but it's cubism or abstract because it's not a perfect, exact copy of an apple. Let's take a look at Weeping Woman, painted in 1937. What do you think is happening? What do you see? Is it abstract or is it realism? If you said abstract, you're correct. It's definitely cubism because the shape of the woman is all mixed up into parts or shapes that were put back together, sometimes in crazy spots. Even though it's abstract, we can still tell that it's a woman wearing a hat. We can see the long hair. We can see that her hands are up towards her face, maybe holding her cheeks. Her eyes are dipped down, kind of showing that there's sadness. There is some shapes that kind of represent tears, but it's not a perfect copy of a woman crying. It's an abstract painting. Let's take a look at Picasso's painting called Three Musicians, made in 1921. Can you see the three musicians? What instruments are they playing? Remember, this is abstract cubism, so nothing's going to be an exact copy. But I can still tell that they're musicians, even though it doesn't look real. Musician 1 is wearing a white suit, playing a clarinet. Musician 2 is wearing a funky orange and yellow patterned suit. He has a beard, and he's playing a guitar. And the last musician in black is holding the music. Our assignment is going to be to create our own Picasso-inspired Cubism Rooster. Picasso painted the rooster in 1938. Notice how the rooster is large and fills the page? The rooster still looks like a rooster. He has a beak, he has a comb on the top of his head, tail feathers, a tongue, and claws and talons on his feet. But he's a little more crazy looking. He's kind of mixed up. His eyes are different sizes and at different angles on his head. He's really brightly colored, and some roosters can be, but the colors are boosted some so that it's brighter than a typical realistic looking rooster. Today we will be creating a practice sketch of our rooster for our upcoming final painting. Please pause the video so you can collect the supplies you need. You will need a white piece of drawing paper, a pencil, a Cubism handout, and a dice. Feel free to start the video when you've collected your supplies. All right, awesome artists. This is the second half of the Pablo Picasso Rooster video. Make sure that you have a piece of white drawing paper that's going vertical. You have a Cubism Rooster handout, a pencil, and dice. Please make sure to write your name and class code in the corner of your white piece of paper. Your class code should be 4E. Now turn your paper over. As we begin to draw, please do not draw on my Rooster Cubism handout. Other students use these, so please don't write your name or anything else on the handout paper. Okay, let's get started. Let's begin with a body. So we're going to take our dice, roll it. Roll it gently so it doesn't fly off the table. I got 3. Which one is 3? Well, I count in 3. 1, 2, 3. This is the body I'm going to draw. It might look difficult, but just break it apart and think about it as shapes, not as a rooster. Okay, so here's the body I am creating. I'm going to start, and remember, we need a head and feet and a tail. So you want to make your rooster big enough to fill your paper, but not so big you can't add the other parts of the body. So I'm going to start with the lines for the neck. It's basically like lines that are curving that create a rectangle. Close it, angle some lines back for my body. My side wing is right here. Now look, I'm going to be doing some erasing. So make sure that you're not pressing too hard with your pencil because I will need to erase or delete some lines to show that certain areas are in front and certain areas are behind. Now, this neck area has a line that divides the middle, and it looks like there's a few details in the wing like this. Okay. Let's talk about head. Here's the options. Here's my dice. Roll gently. 4. I got this rooster right here. It's very complicated because there's lots of different items. But if we just think about each shape separately, it's simple. Okay, let's start with the shape of the head. So we need to start with our neck. We're going to curve around. This is his beak, and then curve back. Remember, this is Cubism, so if it looks silly and goofy, it's okay. I'm going to put on his rooster comb or crown. There's an eye way up here, which is totally silly, but definitely Cubism, because Cubism is very mixed up. Filled in. Then it looks like he has 2 nostril holes here. His tongue coming out of his beak as he squawks there. The little dangling gobbler pieces under his chin. Another eye right here with an eyebrow across the top. And a pupil, a cheek, and some more kind of funky shapes next to it. Erase that line. Okay, let's talk about feet. 2. So I have these ones. So it looks like the legs are a little different, so I'm going to come up and back down for this leg here. This one is going to be a little bit more kind of squarish looking, rounded out. Erase this line. Add my claws or my toes. Remember, it's abstract, so your rooster is going to look all sorts of crazy. Then my tail. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll start back here. Create my tail. Part of your tail goes off the paper. That's totally fine. Okay. What a silly, crazy rooster. But it's totally in Cubism, and that's what we need. Now flip over your paper and look at the patterns on the back. Each section of your rooster should have a different type of pattern. So maybe in this section, I want to create this more curved line. So all of my tail feathers could be the same, or each could be different. But now the legs are a totally new section, so I need to do something else. So maybe I might do like these V shapes here. And then I would add a design in the body and something into the neck and wing. Once you're done adding your patterns, then you can go ahead and grab Mr. Sketch markers. I would suggest tracing the outside with the black Mr. Sketch and then filling in and coloring in your rooster using lots of different colors. All right, thanks for being good listeners and good artists today. I hope that you work really hard on your Picasso rooster so I can see all the cool cubistic roosters that you create, and we will start our final Cubism rooster when I return.